I don't want to talk about purity laws, though. What I'd like to do is lift out this recurrent metaphysic that is in this scripture. This idea of love and hate and the individual self, human beings, in that relationship. And I think that Jesus really nails it here when he says it's not what goes in. All right, so it's not, geez, I could have worn shorts today to preach to you. It would have been unpopular. It would have been, tasteless. But I decided I'd throw on a suit to look nice. That's not a sin to wear shorts while preaching. And the most important thing is, am I producing love from my heart? Am I a loving person? What goes into a person? This is a world that Jesus said 2,000 years ago would always be filled with trouble. He said, while you're alive, your troubles will be many. Prediction, prophecy, prophecy fulfilled. For those of us of a certain age, we don't remember a time when there hasn't been a war, or financial distress, illness, family problems. Whatever it is, whatever front that you're troubled on, it doesn't go away. This comes in. And so we're confronted constantly. You turn on the TV, you read the newspaper, you pay attention to what's going on. You go to work, you go to church, and you're confronted with difficult people. You're confronted with angry people, people who hate. And our trend is to respond in kind, to have a reactive response, because it's just who we are. That's what comes out of us. To respond back with anger, to respond back with hate, to respond back with resentment. And we might even call it justified anger or righteous anger. But it is still anger, and we're still putting it in the world. And it's still out there. And I challenge you to be righteously angry about something and not let it bleed into your personal relationships. Just for fun, check that out. See if you can go. No, I'm serious. I'm really serious about this. Is because I've known people like this. And I've been this way. Which is, God, I'm upset about something. And then I treat people who have nothing to do with it ratty. So we need to escape this insane cycle of taking in the hate and then reproducing the hate. The United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization has a constitution. And in that constitution, it contains the line, because wars began in the minds of human beings, it is in the minds of human beings that the defenses of peace must be established. Another writer put it this way: before we can end war, we need to end its psychological causes. And again, I'm talking to you on whatever front you're at today. Whether you're thinking about the wars, the actual wars that are going on around the world, or the wars that are going on in your homes, or the wars that are going on inside you. So we, in our tradition, look for somebody who can do that, who can model that for us. And of course, it's Jesus. Now, study the world's religions, and you're not going to find one that says, Jesus was a jerk, Jesus was a bad guy. They may disagree on his ultimate identity, on who he was, but they will all agree that this was a guy who modeled what it meant to know God and to love like God. And remember, Jesus, 2,000 years ago, lived in as equally difficult circumstances as we did, if not worse. We call him fully human and fully divine. There was something about the fully human Jesus that was able to take his relationship with God, transform everything that was going into him, all the hate, all the anger, all the aggression, and transform that not just into love, but action predicated on love. Which leads to another metaphysic that I would like to bring up. Jesus had this great line in the 10th chapter of John, and it was, "The Father and I are one." And it upset people, naturally. And those six words, we could spend the rest of our lives dissecting. But they do indicate a closeness in understanding that Jesus modeled for us.